Hey, so you've been asked to shoot a video for maybe a client, for your team, or for yourself. This is just a quick video to give you some tips to make sure that you shoot it in the very best way you can. So to begin with, you need to think about what camera you're going to use, and you probably want to use the camera on your phone. Now, massive thing, make sure you use the camera on the back of the phone and not on the front, mainly because this camera is going to be way better quality than the camera on the front of your phone. Now, because of this, you're not going to be able to see the screen because obviously you're going to have the camera facing at you. So if you've got another person there that can help line it up, then perfect. But if not, you can also kind of use a mirror as well behind it to kind of get yourself lined up. So when it comes to then shooting it, make sure you shoot it landscape and not portrait. If you shoot it landscape, it's way easier for us to edit, and the majority of video that goes out is landscape anyway. So now your camera's set up landscape, make sure that you are in the middle of the frame. You want to make sure that you're bang center, you've got space here and space here. Make sure you're not over to this side or sitting down at the bottom. You want to be sat in the middle with your eyes about 2/3 up the screen. When you're thinking about your backdrop, there's also a few things to remember. Firstly, you don't want to shoot with a window behind you, mainly just because the light gets a wee bit funky and your phone probably isn't going to do a great job of capturing that. So make sure that the space behind you doesn't have a massive window. Secondly, you want to make sure that there's a bit of depth. Now, this is, as you can see here, I've not got tons of depth in this room, but you know, there's me right at the camera, and then there's decent amount of space back to the wall. You don't want to be filming with your back against a wall or against a sofa and you're like a little bit robotic. It just feels a little kind of tight. So get yourself closer to the camera and make sure that there's space behind you. Third thing is then you also want to think about what your background looks like. Now, you don't want it to be super empty and just a white wall because it'll probably look a bit plain, but at the same time, you don't want it to be massively cluttered with tons and tons of different things. I tend to just have a little bit of color. We've got the wee plant over there. It just kind of adds a little bit of something to the scene, but doesn't distract too much away from me. And lastly, you want to think about audio. Obviously, the further away from your phone you are, the worse the audio is going to be. So that's again why I say have a bit of depth, make sure that you're close to the camera, and think about maybe what's also behind you. So right here is actually not great because I have a wall right behind me, so the sound bounces off the wall and comes back. But if you're filming in a lounge or in a place that's got more soft furnishings, then the sound's absorbed into those. So again, when you're thinking about where you're going to shoot, you probably want to be thinking about what other things are in the room that are going to help taken and deaden that sound to make sure that your phone has the best chance of picking up the best audio. So I hope that helped. If you've got any questions, please do just ask them. This video is just kind of help you move along and get the process started. And the big thing about all of it is don't worry about it, because ultimately what you'll do is you'll end up getting all flustered and you'll watch it back 1,000 times and you'll nitpick it. Remember, the audience isn't going to watch it 1,000 times. The audience will watch it once, and we can do some miracle things in the edit as well. So don't panic, get filming, get the content created, get it sent to us. If we're going to edit it for you, or get it sent to your teams, and just make it happen.